Beautiful. So we're going to start off actually, or you're going to start off lying down. So you can maybe grab a bolster or your bed pillows for under your knees. I'm going to come up in a minute. I'm just really showing you, giving you a bit of an idea. And so in a Shavasana to start, just let the hands rest comfortably. So find that position that's going to work for you, lying down. And maybe an eye pillow or even a flannel folded up or a towel is quite good. And then when you're ready, just closing your eyes. And just take a couple of nice full deep breaths. So that we make that transition from our everyday life into more of a state of calmness. And we'll work on that, of course, throughout this yin practice. And take a moment to feel your whole body. And taking a scan of the body and just seeing, how does it feel today? Is there anywhere that you're going to need to be a little bit more careful with? If there's anywhere that's a bit tight or tense. And as you breathe out, just feeling your whole body starting really to sink and melt into the mat. And remembering the practice of yin, really it's a much more meditative style. We hold the poses for longer. So the aim really is that we're going to try and get our nervous system into that very relaxed state of being. So connecting the body, mind and breath together. And I'll open the class with a poem, with some words. Do yoga with no goal but to be in the moment. This breath, this stretch, this wave of emotion rolling in. Watch it crest and break, then dissipate. Hold the body like a lover in a close embrace, listening with intimacy, touching with tenderness. Yoga is a threshold into mystery, each pose an open doorway and an invitation to unfold. Sensations rise and fall, and through it all the deathless center radiates the simple truth of union. And I invite you with the breath tonight to use Ujjayi breathing. So the breath comes in and out through the nose, but it's the breath that creates a little rasping sound in the throat, and a great way to describe it is if you imagined you had a little hole in the front of your throat and you were breathing in and out of the throat. That will help produce that sound. Wonderful. So let's get started with our yin poses. So drawing your knees, one knee and then the other, into the chest. And actually, sorry, just saying, if you've got quite a sore back tonight, you might actually want to do, if you've got a bolster or bricks, you may want to do butterfly pose with the bolster support so the feet touch. But if you feel that you'd like to be upright, then draw the knees in and just a little bit of a rock from side to side. And then make your way up to a seat. You can either roll up or roll to the side and bring yourself up. Most of the poses we're going to hold for 3 minutes each tonight. So the feet in butterfly are a comfortable distance away from your pelvis. And then just take your thighs and kind of roll them downwards. If you find that this is happening, grab a blanket or a thin brick to sit on. And some people may want to do the pose upright for the duration of the 3 minutes, or you're going to start to fold forwards. We'll begin. As always, I'll talk more at the start, and my intention is I'll talk a lot less once we're really set up. So in yin yoga, there's a lot of talk about our edge, but within that, we don't want to be to the maximum of that edge. So how I'd like to teach it this evening really is just find a place where you feel some gentle sensation in the body. So about 50, 70% of where you know your body can go. If you're coming quite far forward in butterfly, but don't force it, it's only if this is natural for you. You can rest the head on a yoga brick, that can be nice. These are all suggestions, or you can rest your hands on the floor. And then if you haven't already, closing your eyes and come to that Ujjayi breath. And the invitation really to focus on just one breath at a time. See if you can stay present for the whole of an in-breath and the whole of an out-breath. And if you manage that, then roll that awareness into the next breath. And if you wander, start again with that one breath. Relax your jaw, relax the face, and be. Remember, we don't want any sharp sensations. The feeling should be very balanced. It's not an endurance test, so if anything feels a bit too strong, just come out of it a little bit. Work with your body, not against it. And breathe. If you've come forward, just use your hands, draw the navel in a bit, and move slowly in yin. Coming up, bring your knees together. If you're on your back, hug your knees into your chest, and you can just let the hands come behind you, your feet roughly mat width apart, and just windshield wiper your legs a little bit. And then you can let your legs lengthen. Again, you might want something under the knees if this doesn't feel good in your hamstrings. And just closing the eyes and observe your legs. And don't analyze it too much. Feel it. Feel your legs. And then just bringing yourself to an all fours before we carry on with our seated postures this evening. It will feel really nice to just loosen up your spine a little bit with some cat-cow. So as you breathe in, the belly drops forwards, the arms are nice and straight, and as you exhale, the navel and head just drop. A couple of rounds. I enjoy to close my eyes here so I can really feel what my body is telling me. And then the next time that you come into the round, you can even let your toes touch. Start to stretch back. Don't worry if you don't get all the way into child's, just feeling it in your back. Breathe. And then inhaling, coming up to a seat. So here it might feel nice to get and some props that you may need. You can sit on a seat, you might not need it, you can sit on your towels, and we'll work with straddle pose. So the legs are apart, and some of you will feel maybe a lot nicer to have something under the knees, so yeah, it feels a little bit better. And here you're going to come up nice and tall. So yogi's choices, we shouldn't all be doing exactly the same thing, it just depends on your body. To keep the spine tall, and you're going to turn to the left. And this could be more than enough for you to stay here. If you want to go deeper, you can start to fold over that left leg. And when we fold, we get a bit more into the hamstring and the spine. And just have a play and feel that position. The shoulders can relax a little bit. Close the eyes. And come back to Ujjayi breath. And thoughts will come within this hour. When they do, it's when you notice it and you come back to the breath. That's the work. And rather than trying to push anything away, just see if that happens, can you just leave the thoughts, don't go into the story, and come back to your breathing. If you feel the invitation from your body that you could go deeper, then you go, but no, nothing aggressive, no pushing. Just that one breath at a time. And just keep coming back to your breath. And slowly, it will be very normal for the body to feel a little stiff from the long hold, so you just need to come out really nice and slow. And we'll go straight in to the right side. If you feel in between, it might feel nice just to lift up the knees and then place the feet back down. Turning your body to the right, remembering this side might be quite different to the other side, choosing whether you're going to stay upright or you're going to fold. You can even use some blocks, some props for your hands. What feels good. So a part of your awareness is always on the body. You're feeling what's going on in the body, which is changing all the time. There's these fluctuations, but you're also very present with your breathing. So your body, mind, and breath unite yoga. to yoke. Can you simply be with your body and breath and just leave yourself alone? Leave everything alone, this sense of resting within the pose. Again, move slow, draw the navel in a little bit to support as you come up. Bring yourself now to the center. Again, you might just want to bring the legs up just for a moment, and then your last bit of straddle. So this time bringing the chest forwards, depending on where you get to. Again, you can be upright. And for some, you might use a bolster and come forward. Some of you might be able to put your chest all the way down, depending on your body. And it can, if you're far enough forward, it can sometimes feel nice to take the hands in prayer and just rest your thumbs on the bridge of the nose, just getting into the vagus nerve. And really just let go. Yin yoga is a great opportunity we start to notice our own patterns. Notice that where our mind might wander to, that thought that keeps coming back. And with kindness, with compassion, you just remind yourself to come back to feeling the body and to your breathing. Feeling a subtle stretch, but nothing too strong. Again, that lovely, gentle, slow movement. Any props, you can just move to the side and lean back on the hands and bring the feet in. You might want to come off your proper blanket you're using it and just windshield wiper here. And then let the legs just come out comfortably. Shoulders can raise, doesn't matter too much. And maybe close the eyes for a moment, any position that's comfortable, and observe your legs. Maybe you can feel the chi starting to move through. And see how it feels for you. And then coming to a comfortable seat, you can be cross-legged, you can be kneeling on blocks or on the floor on the bolster. And just take the left hand to one side and take your right arm and sweep it around. So we start to get a little bit going up to the upper body just a bit. So these big circles, as if you had a paintbrush and you were trying to paint all four corners of the room that you're in. So you really let your body move. If you've got any injury, just accommodate it, don't push through it. Bring that right hand down and that sweeping movement with the left arm. You can see where I'm letting my chest go with it. You can close the eyes if you like, really get into feeling. All of this should feel nice for your body. Bringing that left hand down and just a simple twist to the left. Keep height in the spine, a simple twist to the right. Bring yourself back to center, sweep your arms up on the in-breath and down to the sides on the out-breath. A couple more of those. Inhaling up, exhale. Inhale. And this time just let the hands travel down the midline. Closing the eyes, again, take the attention inward and observe, be a witness to what is going on under the skin. And then coming to your all fours again. Some more movement for the spine to really help just to keep it supple. You can work with cat-cow. Maybe you want to freestyle even a little bit. Figure of eight can feel good. Try to get into any tight spots. So quite a creative movement, or you do cat-cow. If you're doing figure of eight, make sure you go a few rounds the other way. And then we'll come into child's just for about a minute. You can, if you've got a bolster, that would be quite nice. And if you don't worry about it. You can come into full child's, maybe a brick underneath the bolster. And if your seat doesn't touch your feet, you can use bricks. And if none of this really suits you, come onto your back and hug your knees to your chest to get the stretch. So if you're on a bolster, you might want a blanket at the top. Closing the eyes, whichever one you're in, whether it's child's or on your back. And come back to that Ujjayi breath. and slowly just coming up. Take your bolster to the side, or even actually have it handy for Sphinx pose. And I'm going to give you a couple of variations for Sphinx. So coming onto the belly. So if you've got quite a sore back and coming up this high, so my elbows are roughly under my shoulders, when you're in it, have your feet, I like mine about mat width actually apart. I like to just get a bit of space in the lower back. And this feels quite pleasant for me, but if you do this and there's too much, a little bit of compression is fine, but you don't want it to be too much compression in the lower back. A couple of things, you either bring your elbows a bit more forwards so that you decrease the back bend, or actually just rest your hands one on top of the other and rest your forehead, because you're still getting a back bend. And then the other option I want to give, this is good for anyone with shoulder issues, you can take your bolster actually underneath the ribs and come here, so it takes it a little bit more out of the shoulders. So 1, 2 or 3, and then last option, if you're in Sphinx, where the hands are, in yin we don't worry too much about hand and leg placement. So roughly elbows under shoulders, and I actually quite like to bring my hands together in prayer. You can just see, or you might want the palms down. Great, so find your position. Let the head be in line with the spine. Closing the eyes, if not already. Feel your whole body. And come to the breath. A nice breath to do in Sphinx is if you start at your tailbone, and as you breathe in, you imagine the breath traveling all the way up to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, sense or imagine that breath traveling all the way back down. So the in-breath, or you can do the breath up to the heart and back down, or the crown, it's yogi's choice. Remember, at any time you are welcome to come out of poses if they get too intense. And then just, if you've got a bolster, obviously move that out of the way, and then just take your elbows out to the side and rest your head, your forehead onto your hands. And as you breathe in, your belly pressing into the earth. And on the out breath, imagine you could breathe out through the low back. So take a couple of breaths like that. And then turn your head to one side and gently wiggle the pelvis a little from side to side. Turn your head to the other side. Keep that little wiggle. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. And we're going to go back into our child's pose. So you can use your bolster again, or you just come straight back into a child's pose of your choice. And we'll be here for about a minute again. Or on your back. Slowly bringing yourself up to a comfortable position. Maybe you want to sit on your bum rather than kneeling. Close the eyes and just feel your whole body. And then take your left ear over to your left shoulder. Just let that right side of the neck release. Sometimes here you need to play a bit with the angle for where you feel a good stretch. You might need to tilt the chin in or maybe not. When you feel a juicy place, just start, pause, and then over to the other shoulder, to the right ear. Again, have a play. Wonderful. Come back into your all fours. Cat-cow. Inhale, drop. Exhale, round. If you've got sore wrists, your hands might work better a little bit more forwards, or you can be on forearms. Lovely. So I want to give you, again, I always like to give options for shoelace pose. If the seated version, which we'll try in a moment, if you find the seated version too strong for you, then I recommend that you come onto your back and you'll cross the right leg, it will be to start with, over, and you get the hip adduction that way. And if not, I'd recommend sitting on something, so a blanket or a thin brick, and come to a seat. Lovely. So try it this way. If it doesn't work, then come on to do the version on the back. And if this feels okay, you're going to bring left leg long and right leg's going to come on top. And again, you can use anything under the bottom leg if it's too strong for the hamstring for it to be straight, like so. And if you've got quite a big gap here, you can put a blanket under. And last thing to say, if your knee doesn't go exactly on top, don't push it over, just work with where you can get it to. But in an ideal world, it would be knee on knee, but it doesn't always work that way for some students. And again, a couple of options, either stay upright, especially if you've got back issues, or you're going to come forwards. And you're just going to go gently and close the eyes. Come back to feeling your whole body. Draw the awareness inward. Find that ujjayi breath. And you can stay working with that breath in and up, in and down, up and down even the spine. On the in-breath from the tailbone to heart or crown. And on the and exhale back down. And as you stay with your breathing, just let all the other stuff go into the background. And you come as far forward or not as feels good. Coming back up if you're forwards. And then just that right leg, just bringing the foot by the knee. And just for a few breaths, twisting to the right. So the right hand can come behind you, left arm maybe around the knee. Release, come out, have a little feel, maybe close the eyes. And then we'll go into side two. And the two hips can be quite different. We're not symmetrical in the body, so sometimes students might do one side up, so up, and the other time they might need to come down onto the back. So just have a feel for me. And yeah, I won't talk too much. And just come into it, just like you did the other side. Feel a little bit of stretch. Coming back to working with just that one breath at a time focus. As you connect to the breathing, letting go of all the other stuff as you start to work on letting the stillness into your system and into your heart. Slowly, slowly coming out of it. Just bending that left foot and twisting to your left for a couple of breaths. Come forward, release both of your legs. Again, just sitting back. Take the awareness inward, particularly to the legs and pelvis, and be a witness to anything that's happening there. Just observe, feel it. And then coming down onto your backs. And coming in just for the moment into a half happy baby. So keep the right leg bent, and you can take hold of the back of the thigh or the ankle, the top of the foot, and that knee is going a little bit towards your left waist. It feels good to lengthen the right leg, you can, but just see what feels nicer. And just take a few breaths here. If you want to feel a little bit more compression in the hip, then press your foot and hand against each other. And then we'll swap sides. So you can bring the right knee in. I like to start off to test the waters with the foot bent. Take hold of wherever feels good for you. Maybe straightening that left leg, and you can let the leg go out a little bit actually to the left if you straightened it, sticking up the hips. And a couple of breaths. And now bring the left leg up and come into full happy baby for again a few breaths. Might feel quite nice, it sometimes does, just to rock here side to side. Your lower back can lift if that feels nice in your body. And if you're in the first couple of days of your period, you might not want to let that lower back lift. You might want a bit more the back down and hold a different part of the leg. And then bring the knees into the chest. If it feels nice, bring your head up, lengthen the back of the neck. Come back down, bring the feet down, stretch your arms above the head. And if your lower back is feeling quite good, then you can lengthen the legs and get a really nice stretch in your body. Take hold of your left wrist, just pull that arm a little to the right. It's very mellow, this stretch. Not feeling too much. Take hold of the right wrist, a little bit of a stretch. And then 2 options. So for those, my friends who've got lower back issues, it would feel probably a lot nicer for you to actually just have your feet mat width apart, have a block or blanket or bolster handy, and when your legs go over, you can support the legs in any way so the twist isn't too much in the back. So that's the first option. The other thing is to take the left knee and cross it over. I'm going to come into twisted roots. I quite like just to lift my hip and shift it a tiny bit over to the left. You see I'm playing with my right foot and coming in to a twist. And as you can see, my thighs are nowhere near the floor. I might even support them with my lower leg, have a play. Take the arms nice and wide. Choose whether you want to look straight up or to the left. I quite like looking up sometimes. And close your eyes. So any of those options for you just to play with. I definitely like support under that bottom leg in my body. It's one of your last poses, so enjoy bringing a little bit of union to body, mind and breath. And actually here, a really nice breath thing to do is if you focus on your solar plexus, so just underneath your ribs and above your belly button. And as you breathe in, imagine drawing in white light into that area on the in-breath. And as you exhale, that light gets brighter in the body. You can play with that if that feels good. And then just bring the navel in, bring the legs up. Realign if you've shifted your pelvis, if your feet are mat width. Same thing, we'll just bring the legs over now to the left, and if you're doing twisted roots, you just shift the hips over a little bit to the right, the right knee going on top, using your root maybe under the left thigh, and let the legs fall to the left and the arms come out. Head to the right, only if it feels good, or look up. And come back to your breathing in that, on the in-breath, drawing in, you sense it or maybe visualize it, white light into the solar plexus. And on the out-breath, it gets brighter and blood starts to go and spread through the body. Or just stay with the Ujjayi breath. same thing, draw the navel in a little to support and bring yourself up. Realign, maybe stretch right out, will feel quite nice. Maybe hugging your knees in towards your chest will feel quite lovely. Gentle rock from side to side. And then for the last 5 minutes, coming into your Shavasana, and I'm just going to sit up so I can give you a little bit of guidance through it. Make yourselves comfortable, maybe a bolster under the knees or pillows or blankets. Make sure that you're warm enough wherever you are. And something possibly over the eyes. And find that comfortable position for your body. And now you can let go of your breathing. Just allow your body to find its comfy spot. And this feeling and sensation of just melting into the earth. And notice the skin of your body. Bring the attention there to the skin of your body. And then go a little bit deeper as you feel the inner body. So go in deep, observe. And apart, you might be able to feel your heartbeat and your circulation. But can you feel anything else going on in the inner body? You might have a lovely feeling of just a bit more space in there. You might feel that there's just, it's a little bit more alive. You may even feel that your body's vibrating subtly. It's very personal what you feel. It's very different for each person, and there's not anything particular that you should be feeling, just what is your experience right now, and be with it. So for the next minute, can you simply be with your body, be with what's going on, just as it is, without trying to add anything to it with your mind or take anything from it. Can you simply be in the experience right now? And just rest effortlessly within yourself, leaving everything else alone. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you, as the wheel follows the ox that draws the cart. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you, as your shadow, unshakable. And when you're ready, start to just bring a bit of movement into the fingers and the feet. And move slow. Do any movement that you feel that your body could do with right now, even if it's just your head going a bit side to side. Maybe it doesn't need anything, I'll let you choose. And when you're ready, if you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat. And if you're not ready, just stay where you are and zone me out. I'll only be here for about another minute. And once you find your comfortable seat to close the session, just bringing the hands into prayer at the heart and closing the eyes. As you take the awareness inward,